Hold on. Hold on. Let me put those down. Glasses. And then those glasses. I got to wear two glasses to watch a 3D movie. That's the way it is. Wow. Hey guys, how's everybody going? How's everybody doing? Yeah, I had a bad day. I mean, health wise and work wise, and it snapped just like it usually does. Unknowingly, everything just goes back into sync, and I start feeling really, really good. And I watched a little bit of, caught up on some TV shows, and I'm going into all this, and it, it's not what I'm meaning to talk about. For I don't know, something popped in my head because I was watching the final trailer to Batman v Superman, which is coming out in a month or so, and I kind of wanted to watch Man of Steel again. I have the 3D version, as you can tell with the glasses I was watching and everything, and I was only gonna like watch scenes of it, and I started it from the beginning, and it's 1 hour 30 minutes in, and I did not jump once. I jump ahead. I let it play through, and I'm probably gonna go right to the end. Yeah, when this thing came out, I'm really gonna have to look back on the internets and see what everybody was really complaining about, because I'm finding this really, really entertaining. I did not see it in the theaters. When it came out on Blu-ray in 3D, I picked it up and I watched it. And I believe the other time I threw it in was just to watch the destruction scenes at the end. At the time I put it in the second time. I just wanted to see mayhem. I just wanted to see action, and I was like, well, okay. I watch Man of Steel. I watch Superman and Zod destroy Metropolis, and I did, and I don't remember much of that. First viewing, I felt the movie was very, very long. And I don't know if I was jaded by all the bad reviews, but I didn't think much bigness of it. Bigness. Oh, good grammar there, Raj. Raj. Big. I. And now I'm watching it again as a precursor to Batman v Superman, which the trailers are pretty much blowing me away. Well, not all of them. I'm still very iffy on Eisenberg doing Luthor. I don't know how that's going to work in there. We didn't see him through this movie, so where does he come from, type of thing. The final trailer really solidified Batman, Ben Affleck as Batman, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that little storyline. The addition of Wonder Woman and Aquaman, who we still haven't seen in any of the trailers, is kind of intriguing, but it's like, is it just going to get... what's the big creature? Destructo, or whatever. I'm not a comic guy. I don't know these characters. But it's almost like, well, they're throwing everybody in. And that was the big complaint with Tim Burton's Batman Returns, which I myself did not have a problem with. I loved Max Schreck. I loved Catwoman and Penguin. I loved all that. Spider-Man 3 I did have a little problem with Venom and Sandman, and then bringing Green Goblin in again and that. I'm not a big comic book guy, so I'm just kind of going along with... I mean, I know the history from being a kid and reading some of the comics, but I wasn't following the entire stories. So when an X-Men comes out, or a Spider-Man comes out, or something like that, as a movie fan, I'm going into it expecting to really enjoy just a good time, an entertainment good time, and I know they're going to be big special effect extravaganzas. Okay, let's go back to Man of Steel. Man of Steel had a lot of baggage. There was a lot of really rotten reviews, and maybe because it's been a few years and I'm watching it again and I'm really kind of concentrating on the character of, not Jor-El, see, I'm not a comic guy. I don't know what Superman's name is. Kal-El, I believe. Kal-El, there you go. I'm really concentrating on his character and the Kevin Costner and Diane Lane pseudo-parents that raised him. And I really like, as a filmmaking thing, the way their Flash did the way they did. I'm already past that. Flashbacking, I'm going to go ahead a little bit so I can get to a dark scene because I don't want my screen to burn out because there's like heavy, heavy sunlight in these scenes. There we go. That ain't a bad shot. You hear, on plasma TVs, they burn in. Do they even make plasma anymore? I think now it's OLEDs and all those things. And we're not going to get into the death of 3D right now because I don't think it's going anywhere. At least in my lifetime, it's not going anywhere. And if it is, I'll just buy myself another television that has 3D. And sidebar, Judge, can we have a sidebar? I'll just buy myself another TV and have it stored in the back. And when this one dies, I'll have the new one. And I have like almost 400 3D Blu-rays, so I'll be happy if they stop. At least I'll have those. But there was a lot of baggage in this film. And, wow, Michael Shannon is really, really good. A little over the top, but so was the Zod character in Superman 2. And, I'm totally swept into the story. And I was watching when I actually decided to go. I'm just going to let this play out. I'm not going to jump ahead. I'm not going to just make it let's just watch every scene, certain scenes. I'm going to let the whole movie play out. And I'm an hour and 30 minutes in, and I have no problem with this movie. I don't know why. There was some sort of backlash to this. Maybe at the time, because it was somewhat early in the superhero movie reigns, that there was a lot of exposition, and we see another origin, in a way, story. But I'm very entertained by this. I'm really enjoying this, and I'm in my mind. I'm thinking ahead of Batman v Superman, how that's going to play out, and it's going to be a different movie. But then again, I think it's going to be the same, as big and huge and scopeful this movie is. I'm hoping Batman v Superman is going to be just as big and scopeful, without getting too mixed in with the Wonder Woman and Aquaman and things like that in there. And I haven't, like I said, I'm an hour and a half, and I haven't even gotten to the Metropolis destruction yet. But so far, I'm really enjoying this. Technical stuff. The special effects are pretty great. The score is pretty damn great. I'll be honest, I had a little problem with the Kenneth Branagh, the father, Jor-El, appearing. When they plug the thing in, and there he is, and he's doing the exposition. But there's a scene where Lois Lane is up on the ship that Zod comes down in, and he's like, oh, turn to your left, shoot here, move your head to the left, and to make her survive type of thing. I can't think of her name. What's her name? Who's playing Lois Lane? I had a problem with her too, because at the beginning, years ago when I first saw this, because I was like, well, she's maybe the whole reason people had an issue with this movie was because it was so different. It was such a different take on the Superman legend. Lois Lane wasn't just a reporter. She became something else in this. The Zod is not like the Zod from Superman 2. Again, we don't have Lex Luthor in there. Who knows why or where he becomes a character in the new movie coming up. Henry Cavill is perfect for Superman. There are some facial reactions and movements he does, which, being still not the Superman, he's still learning and learning to protect humanity on planet Earth type of thing. You know, he isn't that Clark Kent Superman persona. He's still learning his boundaries and his way into this world, but he does some great little facial things, and I'm enjoying him. I'm loving him. I mean, you got all this great cast of characters as the military people and other people. They're sprinkled throughout, all these character faces, but they're background characters. They're just there to say a word or two or something. Perry White, I have no problem that I was going to say Lawrence Fishburne. It is Lawrence Fishburne, isn't it? It used to be Larry Fishburne. Well, back when he was 14 when he did Apocalypse. But I have no problem with him at all as Perry White. We don't have a Jimmy Olsen in this from what we can see. But Diane Lane, Kevin Costner, I thought were really all right. I had no problem. I did at first with the tornado and Kevin Costner's character saying, just let me go. Don't show your powers yet. You need to hide. Again, I'm rambling here. It's 13 minutes, and I'm only halfway into this. I might do another bit of this after the movie's over, but I'll just have to say that I have no problem with this movie so far. I'm finding it totally entertaining. Visually pretty damn stunning. The 3D, though not in your face, not fantastic, it's a conversion, is still very, very adequate and really sucks you into the story, into the visuals. The sound design, the music, I really am liking this movie. So, and maybe, again, like I mentioned it before, maybe I'm feeling that way now, as opposed to the first time I saw it, because I know there's this Batman versus Superman movie coming up very shortly, and I want this to be as good as that, and I want the two to connect together and work. I don't want that one to be the great one, and this one was like, oh, this is sucky. But it's the origin of a brand new Superman in our generation. Yeah, a lot of people had a problem with Superman's... Well, he's not Superman. He's the Man of Steel. They never really mentioned him as Superman yet. They tried, and then there was feedback on a speaker. She tried. Lois Lane tried. But anyway, it's a whole new origin story. It's a whole new take on the Superman legend. And at this moment, right now, I have no problem with it. Like I said, they're just now, I don't know, is this considered Smallville? They're in that little town, and they're just about to start the battle. Zod's coming down. He's realizing that he has a weird power too because of the sun. And that whole thing is happening. So, yeah, he just arrived at Diane Lane's home. Diane Lane. What was the mother's name? Not Annie M. Annie M. Anyway, I'm going back to the movie. Maybe I'll come back. If not, this is my little review so far. And like I said, I'm enjoying it. Hour 30 in, I have no problem whatsoever with the story, with the look, with anything of this movie. And like I said, it could be because I was having a really, really bad first half of the day. And once that subsided, I'm able to relax, and now I can be entertained by something. And I am. I'm being very entertained. All right, old Roger D. Channel Donstar. I'm going back to Man of Steel. There's old laughing Raj. I'm like the Riddler. Batman. Oh, Batman. Ooh. Why am I so orange now? Wait a minute. Let me get some white back. Oh, I look so horrible. Man, frack the naysayers. I enjoyed this film. And yeah, all the groans and all the groans and the groans and groans. Welcome to the planet at the end. Lois Lane's the only one that recognizes him with the glasses, and she comes up, welcome to the planet at the end. No, I like, jeez. All right, we're 2:18 into the film. Well, we're done. We're up to the credits. Yeah, as it goes on, man, they really fracking destroyed. What is it? Not Gotham City. Metropolis. Oh, they fracking destroyed Metropolis. And I remember hearing in the reviews that that was the big thing. It was how can a Superman who's protecting the Earth let all this happen without showing any kind of saving of human lives? Well, I guess I'll have to just say, well, he was just starting out. That's a simple way to brush that aside. Yeah, I have no issues with this film. Man of Steel, I have no issues. I enjoyed all of it. Even the final flashback at the very end, where he goes to be, I was going to say Auntie Mame. It ain't Auntie Mame. Mrs. Superman, Grandma Superman. When he goes back there, and there's that flashback with Kevin Costner. I had no problem with it. The only issues, if I would have to say, is what the frack is Lois Lane doing on that plane at the end? I mean, how did she get from where she was to there, and then survive, and then fall? And there was a Wilhelm yell there. I did hear. I'm moving my cuff because I think maybe my cuff was in there. I did hear a Wilhelm yell when one of the guys fell out of the plane. And I can't think of the character actor that was flying the plane and this and that, before Soup came in and swooped down and saved them. The battle with Zod is frickin' fantastic. I know there was a lot of people that were upset with Soup killing Zod, breaking his neck, and then him breaking down in a cry. I have no problem with that. Again, I equate it to, he's still new on Earth. He still is learning. It actually, this is weird side tangent. It kind of reminds me of Doctor Who, when he supposedly killed the Master, and he broke down in tears because in this world, that was the only other Time Lord. So in this world, that was the only person from Krypton that was exactly like him, and he had to put him out of his misery, and that's why he did that cry. And but again, saying that this is pretty much an origin story. I give it a lot of passes, being that he's just still learning. He's learning. And knowing that Batman v Superman, which I brought up before, is witness to the destruction of Metropolis, and then to turn that all around with the people, probably, by putting him accountable for all the death and devastation that he did cause. We haven't seen that movie yet. We don't know, but I'm guessing that is what the whole courtroom shots are in that trailer. That he's being brought up on those charges. Michael Shannon, fantastic, fantastic. Special effects, fantastic. The whole gravitational, the terraforming, the gravitational pull of the cars and then dropping them and pulling them up and dropping them. Maybe the reason I'm accepting this so much right now is because we have seen, or I have seen, so many superhero movies, the Avengers movies and Ant-Man and Thor and all these other things, that we're so used to those, and being that this is the first, it's a little odd, but we warmed up to it because those other movies, those Avengers movies, with the light in the sky and letting the aliens down and all that, is pretty much acceptable now because of this movie. I don't know. Maybe that is one of the reasons. The whole Perry White thing, where the woman is trapped. I remember hearing problems with that scene, and it's like, I have no issue with that. Of course, she's automatically released and she's saved at the end, but no, I have no issue. It all fits into the drama of the movie. There's like this huge snowball of devastation and people trying to survive, and I have no issue with it. By the end, you're either with Soup or you're not, and I am with him. I really, really liked it. Seeing this again, like I said, probably for the third time. Second time, totally from beginning to end, I have no issues with this film. The 3D, again, adequate, not fantastic, not in your face, but gives you that look into the world, the window box world, and I think a lot of it was really, really well done. Lois Lane being on that plane at the end was kind of like, how did she get there? Why is she there? Why would they let her be there? That's probably my only kind of issue. And that might be it. That might be it. I'm trying to think if there's any other things on this. The whole ending with the introduction of Clark Kent, I kind of liked. I have no issues with that either. And the way he's introduced, and then Lois Lane, she knows it's Soup. She knows it's him, and she's like, "Welcome to the planet." I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Totally fine with it. So we'll have to wait and see now how Batman v Superman's going to go. And that's all I can say. It's all Roger D. IMO Reviews, watching Man of Steel. For the first time in a long time, since I picked up the film, which was, 3-4 years ago maybe? Watching it from beginning to end, I totally entertained. Have no issues with it. No real issues with it. Like I said, I think maybe because this is one of the very first superhero movies, maybe Iron Man was out there, but we're so bombarded now with so much spectacle in our superhero movies that maybe this one was kind of shunned away, but now looking at it, it fits right in perfectly. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you guys feel that it still sucks. Maybe, and so be it. You like, I like, you like. There's no reason to complain. It's just what it is, and I had a great time with it, watching it again for the first time in a long time. So it's all Roger D, Channel D, IMO Reviews, watching Man of Steel, Man O' Steel. Can't wait for Batman v Superman. I think that's going to be another one of those. Well, it'll be hit or miss. That's all we can say. It'll be hit or miss. But 2016, we got so many movies to look forward to. Geez, we got a Civil War. We got the X-Men movie. We got well, a bunch. All right. So anyway, I'm going. Hey everybody. Hey, have a great night. This is Roll Roger D on Channel Donstar saying, go watch a movie. Go watch a good movie. Watch Man of Steel again. Watch it. And if you can watch it in 3D, watch it in 3D because it's really good in 3D. A lot of stuff blows up, man. A lot of frickin' stuff is blowing up like crazy. And it's pretty spectacular. Spectacle! Moulin Rouge. All right, bye.